Live from the City of Angels, Sunday morning, Midnight Movie Money, our box office show here on MMT. And we have a new winner after 5 weekends. Finally, Avatar, Fire and Ash is number 2 behind Chris Pratt's Mercy, which debuted with just 11.2 million. But remember, there is a massive storm that's affecting theaters, especially on the East Coast. 400 or so theaters were closed over the weekend. So that is going to crimp your cash as it did. This film made about another 11 million overseas, 22 million, $60 million production. So it's going to lose Amazon money. You know, profitability comes at 150 plus million dollars. It's never going to get there, but you're talking about Amazon, right? Deadline makes this point in the article. They're different than other studios. They've got cash to burn, but when you just talk about it being profitable, this will be a loser for Amazon and for Chris Pratt, who, listen, we saw this movie back last Monday. It's not great. He just really isn't a real dramatic actor. He needs to be limited in those positions. And when you watch this film, you can see those limitations. And again, film is only at $11.2 million. Let's go to Avatar, Fire and Ash, because this is another story that I keep hammering home. And you guys, the Avatar bros, don't want to admit this. We're $600 million under number 2. After 6 weekends, $600 million. You're going to say, well, here's how you spin this, right? You say, well, it's over $1 billion. Listen, let's just talk about $600 million under number 2. Don't pretend that's like some chunk of change you find in a drawer. I mean, this is just so far under. I hope this is the sign to Disney, 20th century, that it's time to stop. Because audiences, clearly, when you're missing $600 million, they're like, we're good, okay? Now, again, it's not losing them money, but it's important to note that the demand has diminished greatly. So here we are. Look, $1.379 billion after 6 weekends. So, because I'm the number 1 film journalist in the space that streams, that's for sure. Look here. 2.024 billion after 6 weekends for Way of Water. There's your minus 600 million plus, right? Okay, sorry, Avatar bros. You don't want to hear it. The ace was right again. I mean, at some point, don't you just acknowledge the guy's good and just move on? You should, because you're wasting your time. You really are. Just don't do it. Zootopia 2 is number 3 still. Look, this is a testament to leaving films in theaters and not messing around with them at home and streaming until you've maxed out your cash theatrically. And this film is now at $1.7 plus billion on the global cash. And listen, this is what families needed. They needed a film like Zootopia 2, and we needed it for the resurgence of family box office. So this was a boon, obviously, over the Christmas corridor and beyond, because it's still not available at home. Housemaid is number 4 at 4.2 million. You look at this film at now 115 or so million on the domestic, over 100 million international, 200 plus million dollars on the global cash. This will make them a fortune. This is why we're having a Housemaid 2. Obviously, when you make that much money, you're talking about a sequel no matter what. Even if it is hard to imagine where we're going with this, we'll go to another abusive man and run it back. As for things that are probably not going to get run back, I understand that if you saw Bone Temple, you're aware that we set up 3. Okay, with Cillian Murphy, here we go. Here's the problem. The number's not even in yet. Sony hasn't sent it, but they estimated it at 4.2 million. That would be a minus 66% drop weekend to weekend for Bone Temple. That is a death blow. I mean, look, it opened at less than half the first. Now we're down 66%. You guys know I like the film, but I'm separating my adoration of Nia DaCosta's work here with reality that this film has underperformed in a colossal way. And if you're Sony, I cannot greenlight, even if it's greenlit, you just pull that back. You can easily stop production, because if you make a third film, unless you're in the interest of losing cash, you need to seriously reconsider, given the result here of Bone Temple. We told you why this was going to happen. Listen, going back to Sony just sent it. We'll check it. Give me 1 second. When you look at this film having to basically make you forget all of the sins that Danny Boyle provided for you in 28 Years Later, a film that is savagely, brutalizingly, man, what a rough sit that film is, and chaotically edited. This is a bad film. It is. It really was. I mean, you talk about one of the best trailers of all time, and then you get to the film. So when you have that kind of people getting burned by a film, it's very difficult to get them to all of a sudden say, okay, let's go check out the second one, even though the word is good on the film. Okay, right now I've got it in front of me. We're looking at, oh my God. We need a timeout. It's at 3.6 million for the weekend. So that should be a minus 70 plus. I can't do the math right now in front of me. I don't have it. But I'm saying we were at 4.2 minus 66. So you look at 3.6. You're talking about a 70% drop. It's done. It's over. It's game over. 100%. And that's just the reality of it. You can't make the film. Sorry. Especially if Danny Boyle's directing it. No way. Let's talk about this. We're going to get to the weekend box office top 10, but I want to bring up this. This is Lord of the Rings, that is now through 2 weekends on a global standpoint. You're looking at, let's pull it down, 18.7 million on the global, with Lord of the Rings Fellowship 1 with the most at 8.3. Then we go Two Towers, the best of the three films. We talked about that the other night, 5.4 million, and then Return of the King at 5 million for that total of 18.7 on the global cash for that film. Also, I wanted to bring in this, which is going to be Hamnet at $42 million on the global cash. It's not bad. And listen, I think the film costs like 35, somewhere in that area, right? Somewhere around there. Okay, so it's not going to make the money. But still, for a small film, I was like, that's not bad for Hamnet. And then you roll down to Sung Song Blue, and look, we are at 51, call it $52 million on that film, quietly. Again, Christmas Corridor was really big for that film. Let's go to the top 10 and see if I can someone do the math for me on that right now? I don't have last weekend's exact, because we need to do the 3-day. Then you subtract what we had this weekend, 3.6, and then you, trust me, I know how to do it, but not in front of me right now. I don't have the numbers, but it's minus 70. It's got to be. So here's your top 10. Mercy's number 1 at $11.2 million. We go to Avatar number 2 at $7 million. Zootopia 2 is number 3. Housemaid 4, 28 Years Later, down 70% plus. I'm going to do the math. I promise you, I'll tweet it out to you as soon as I'm done here live. I had to go a little early this morning because I'm rolling down to Orange County a little earlier than I usually do. Marty Supreme, 6, now at $86+ million. A24's highest grossing film of all time. Return to Silent Hill. Some of you asking about that film. Only $3.2 million for the 3-day. I think the budget was like $3 million. So, it'll probably end up being profitable. I heard it's horrible. I almost saw it, but then I decided to see Send Help early. We'll talk our MMT evaluation of Send Help. That is coming up tonight on the Sunday Evening Spectacular. Not a fan of the film. Screenplay. Big time problems with that screenplay. And Rachel McAdams, totally miscast. Rachel McAdams, supposed to be this dowdy, weird office girl no one thinks is cute. She's homely. Like, what? Rachel Adams? McAdams is not homely. In the movie, she's in a bikini. She's walking around. Rachel McAdams has like a 9.5 out of 10 banging body. And you're going to tell me she's homely. Dylan O'Brien wouldn't be attracted to her. Okay. You got to get the casting right. It's just stupid. Like, it's literally like, are we supposed to believe this? Like, I can believe crazy shit in sci-fi films more than Rachel McAdams is not hot. It's just dumb. Primates number 9, now at 23.7 million. And Hamnet, as I mentioned, those worldwide numbers, is number 10. All right. I'm going to roll out of here. I'm going to do the math, but I'm telling you right now, it's like minus 70%. Holy crap. I mean, just wow. I don't want to see this happen. I really don't. Do you think that I want to see? Well, okay. Actually, let me backtrack just for a second. I want to see a part 3, just not directed by Danny Boyle. I want to keep it with Nia DaCosta because she managed to get some control of that franchise and deliver a much better film. But as you guys know, you're minus 70%. You're losing it. Dudes, this is done. It's over. And Avatar, let's hope it's over. I asked for you guys to not support this film, and you didn't support it as heavily as number 2 or number 1, minus 600 million. You guys rock. I want to thank all of you here on this Sunday. We'll see you back here tonight for the Sunday Evening Spectacular. Enjoy your Sunday.